Okay. Right. Before we slap sounds like balls, doesn't it?
Yeah, flat.
Start again. Right. Right, before this thing makes its noise, we have some very exciting news to share with you today. Focus Bikes has teamed up with PayDirt to create more opportunities for people who ride bicycles. It's basically what Focus is all about. We are proud to be part of this movement.
I feel really proud. But
I do.
What is PayDirt? Through a funding program, volunteering and project support, PayDirt is dedicated to cycling projects. Essentially, it's about creating opportunities for everyone. And now, Focus is part of this initiative.
That's right. For the people at Focus, supporting and working within the cycle community has always been a significant concern. Whether it's collaborating with mountain biking clubs in the Stuttgart region or partnering with projects like Sudos Bayern Bike, Trail Surfers, and many more. With PayDirt, Focus has now formed a partnership to further promote cycling and strengthen the community.
Wow.
Currently, PayDirt is actively funding 36 projects across 7 different countries, and this is only the beginning. These numbers are continually growing. To learn more about PayDirt and the work behind it, visit www.paydirt.earth.
What is it?
www.paydirt.earth. And join us in supporting the next wave of projects and creating a true cycling revolution.
That's right. And if you want to learn more, just head to the show description. We're going to put a link down there for paydirt.earth and the Focus Bikes website so you can see some of the lovely projects that they've been doing for a short while now.
Amazing.
Thank you, Focus. Thank you, PayDirt. And now, what you're all here for, the Wyn Masters episode. People get mad at us if we don't do an actual intro, but I feel like this one might be an exception. I think most people are going to probably know who Wyn Masters is at this point. And if they don't, it's...
World Cup veteran.
It's a good one.
EWS winner.
Yeah.
The inventor of wheelie wins. And
Nice.
newly a father. Mm-hmm. And he's the first guest to ride here.
Yes.
Wyn Masters.
Well done.
I don't know if I can back up the intro.
That was a good intro, wasn't it?
It was a big one.
Bar's pretty high right now.
Intro, yeah.
All right. Good to have you on here, man.
Yeah,
Stoked.
thanks.
What do you think to the...
It's impressive what you've done here. That really done a lot with not much. Not to be rude, but yeah.
So I got here yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And the door was open, and I'm like looking in, and Ollie's stood on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So what's he doing? We're just scraping mould off the roof.
Mate, dude, have you got any tips for mould? A weird way to start such a podcast.
It's just a funny way of,
I'm a bit of a DIY guy, but I've never really got mould on the roof, so
I don't know how to deal with it.
I think in New Zealand it's a bit less mould.
Yeah.
But it's not a mouldy place, is it? No.
Not as cloudy.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, I think it's probably just moisture, isn't it? Sat around. But hey.
We need to get this air circulating. We need to have
Yeah.
more conversations, to be honest. Get the air circulating. I think that's it.
Is that what it is? A bit of hot air?
I think it is, yeah. I think it is. Wyn, how are you? How's your hand?
It's getting better. It's still got a bit of a lump on it though. So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So which bone is it?
The metacarpal here.
Right.
But it moved the knuckle back a bit, so then they just put a screw through. But it's still got a little lump on it there, yeah.
Where's the knuckle at? How far's it gone back? And is it?
See,
have they
it
moved
like
it back?
sits. It's like sitting. Look at the
Ah,
other
yeah,
one.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite.
Got some hands on you, haven't you, kid?
Yeah.
Like the look of like.
Well, that was the problem. When I went in for the surgery, they're like, "Yeah, we put a screw in, but we didn't have any big enough ones."
Actually, yeah.
so the screw we've put in is quite short. I'm like, "All right, cool." And then they're like, "Yeah, you got to keep it still now because we don't want the screw to move."
Yeah.
But it probably moved a little bit, but I think it's
No
right.
way.
I think it's getting better, so
You needed a bigger screw.
because now I can like at least make a fist, and I couldn't do that at all.
Have you learnt from previous experience, sort of like doing stuff with metal in your body and then it going wrong?
Don't know about learnt, but yeah, I had a bent plate in my arm for quite a while, so
Did you?
yeah.
Whereabouts?
On this arm, so it's not really straight.
Oh yeah.
But it was like here, it was like fully bent.
Mate, it
My
was,
arm
it
was
was
broken. It
unbelievable.
was like a banana.
Really?
Yeah.
And you could put your finger in, couldn't you?
Yeah, it was like you can still feel the screws in there, but it was pretty. It was like what?
Yeah, it was proper, wasn't it?
Well, I used to make jokes when I was in the town drinking, and I'd be like, "What?" And it'd show someone, they'd be like, "Oh, your arm, you've got to go to hospital." I'm like, "Nah, it's good, but because it looked real bad." And then the people would be freaking out, but I'd be like, "It didn't hurt because the plate would hold it, but it would hold it like completely bent."
No way.
Yeah, like the plate was like that.
Weird, it didn't hurt. You'd still think it would hurt, wouldn't you?
It not make any difference to ride neither. It was okay.
No, I rode some races like that, but it was painful.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I hit a
Rode
hole in
Fort
Fort
William,
William,
didn't
and I just went, and it went, and then I like felt it go, boop, and then I was like, kept going because you're racing, so you're like a bit of adrenaline. You get to the bottom, and then my arm's like bent, and you're like telling yourself it's fine.
Oh.
You're like, oh yeah, it's fine.
Straighten back out.
Go to the X-ray, and it's like the plate is like that.
That made me feel sick.
Yeah.
Look, I don't understand how there's no nerves in there, how there's no pain. I sort of don't really understand pain when it comes to brakes.
There was pain when I like did drops and stuff.
Yeah, I would have thought.
It's
Yeah, I
a
would
weird
have.
angle too. I guess it's putting
think
more pressure on your wrist or
Different
something.
forces, yeah.
So maybe it's when the bones touch.
Yeah.
I worry on podcasts how much you can like reveal yourself as completely stupid.
I mean, if you've not done that by now, is
In it.
yeah.
But like, what actually? Because there's a different pain for breaking something, isn't there?
But I think maybe it's more simple here because it's like one big bone in the middle of your arm,
Yeah.
whereas in your hand you've got so many things.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more complex, but it was lucky the fracture was not too crazy.
So did you know straight away? Like, what was the crash like? Because there's no video, is there?
When I woke up, I knew that my hand was not good.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So yeah, go back. When was it? It was the first round.
Yeah, we were in Lenzerheide and it was the qualifying run. So yeah, I was doing my qualifying run and it was off the last drop, and I like slid a bit in the last kind of corner. So I was like, oh, I'll pedal a bit more, and then I just went to flat.
So the wood drop.
Yeah, the big wooden drop.
Yeah.
So I went like maybe a little bit faster than normal, and I just landed on the flat.
Oh. And did
So-
you
my hand
salmon
just-
over the line? Did you get a time in?
My bike went over the line, so that crossed the finish, but I didn't. But
So what happened? You slide out or
no, I
what?
think my thumb just peeled off the bar because my thumb was like black as well.
Oh.
And then I just went straight into the ground, head first and hand first. Like I punched the ground, I think. And then my hand was broken, and then my head just went straight in the ground. And then I don't know, like everyone that watched it's like, yeah, it was so bad. I'm like, well, I haven't seen any videos, and there was no photos.
How weird is that?
Yeah,
That's strange, especially now when people are videoing and filming everything.
everything, yeah.
And there's nothing.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool in a way.
But a lot of people were pretty worried, yeah.
Really?
And that was first round, first qualifying, like
Yeah,
the qualifying, not semis.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Wow.
have to remember. It's
Yeah.
quite,
There's more now.
But then I kind of came round when I was getting taken away in the ambulance, or like to the ambulance. So, but I'd already like walked out of the finish.
oh mate.
And
I
they
was
were
a bit
like,
missing.
you refused to be carried out. So I was like, well, yeah, I wasn't really all there. and then apparently, like, my hand was like, I was like, there's like a hole there where it like popped the skin. The
What, the bone did?
bone was not sticking out, but it, like the force of it popped the skin.
So it had stuck out, or
Yeah, so like there's a scar there on the top, and then it just yeah. So that was like a hole, and there was just blood just going psh, psh, psh. And then I was like, I looked at it, and then I was going like that. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty bad, but it still works.
oh no.
What's the first thought though when you've had a first round and you've come round, you get your senses back a little bit? Where's your head at straight away, knowing that we were literally the first round of the World Cup?
It's not really ideal, but
No.
you're like, well, we can't do much about it now, so it's like you're on to trying to recover and get it sorted. But luckily, I was in Switzerland and I have insurance, so
Okay.
it was pretty easy. The hospital was like a hotel.
Was it really?
Yeah, I could have stayed longer.
How long did you
The
stay
food
for?
was overnight. The food was good. You have a menu and everything.
Really?
They do it different there, eh? You
Yeah.
pay. What do you pay? Like a. How does it work in Switzerland?
It depended if you. So this was a public hospital, but they already ask you if you have private insurance, then
Yeah.
you get your own room. But I didn't know what mine was, so I had to share a room with a guy that looked like Borat. But and he snored, but it
Mankini.
wasn't too bad.
Like the Mankini.
The room, yeah, hopefully not. But the room was pretty nice,
Yeah.
and it's comfy. And then they did the surgery like within 4 hours of the crash. They done it with me awake as well. Yeah.
Could you see it?
No, I didn't watch because they had put the thing up,
Yeah.
and I don't really want to watch. They didn't cut much, but they only did one stitch. But then they must like pry it apart
Yeah.
so they can get in there, and then they were like pulling I had like a nerve block in my arm, so my arm's just dead. But then you feel them like pulling your arm, and I'm like, what are they doing?
Like you can feel it in your
Yeah,
shoulder,
like,
sort of your neck.
yeah, pulling your shoulder. I'm like, what are they doing? And then there's like, when he opened it up, he's like, yeah, we've got 2 options with this one.
You can hear it all.
Yeah, and like, yeah, and he's like, I'm like, well, you go with whatever's best because you know more than me. And
Let's
he's
have a
like,
look.
all right, yeah. So then you hear, you're like, yeah, that's good now.
No way.
Yeah.
Start stitching you back up and get out of there.
Yeah.
Dude.
And
Have
then
you ever watched one
they
of
kept me
those?
overnight because of my concussion, but
Yeah.
that's why they couldn't put me under for the surgery. So I had to do it awake. They're like, oh, we can do it now if you do it with a nerve block. And I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Have you ever watched one of those surgery shows?
Yeah.
Like how much it like stresses you out.
There's a lot more pulling and banging than what I think.
Dude,
you
yeah,
Quite
right.
aggressive. Yeah,
think
they were
there
definitely
is.
pulling my arm, like trying to get something. Because I think they're trying to get that bone back in place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they know like mechanically what you have to do to get that
Yeah.
bit there or whatever.
And
don't
how much force they need to use, yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're going to go in for like a hip operation or something like that, you're best not watching it on YouTube first because it's quite savage, isn't it? You got the
Yeah.
hammer and the chisel out and they're like really going at you.
You had dislocations before where it's been.
Not bad.
I had a dislocation of that finger in Madeira,
Mhm.
and I flew back 'cause I thought I'd put it back in, and I flew back with it. Well, like obviously it didn't move, but I thought, oh, that's because it's just damaged from the dislocation. And I got back and they were like, yeah, it's not in. So then the lady had she had her legs on my
Shoulder.
and she's pulling as hard as she can to like get it back in.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that it was. I was on like gas stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But like just think about the human body, like the amount of force. Like imagine pulling a rope
Yeah, yeah.
or like a fishing line or like I don't know.
Yeah, it's way gnarlier than what you think it's going to be.
Innit?
Yeah, I wouldn't like to see any surgeries.
So in order to put the bone through your skin, punching the floor, you probably had to punch it way
Quite hard.
harder than you almost think.
Yeah.
Well, I think the drop to flat's probably like 7 meters. And then
Just
at
like-
40 k's an hour or something. So then you think of that force is quite a lot.
Yeah.
And then I think I was knocked out like 5 minutes. So it's
Really?
not really ideal either. Yeah.
That's a
Oh,
long
mate.
time.
But I've had a few over the years similar like that. Not recently though. Nothing for ages.
No.
Yeah.
Fucking 5 minutes is a long time, dude.
Yeah.
Innit? No wonder they didn't want to put you under anaesthetic after that.
Yeah.
That's a long one.
Yeah.
Weird
But,
to think your brain just goes into that mode, eh? Just
Yeah,
like
it
shut
just
off.
shuts down so that it can try and protect you.
Yeah.
So I think it's like pretty impressive what the body can do.
Holy.
Yeah.
Super impressive. God.
Not ideal, but like it does the right thing at the right time
Yeah,
to try
yeah.
and protect yourself, you know?
I bet you've had some good knockouts in the time.
Yeah.
You had some biggies.
Yeah, I've had a 5-minute.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a 5-minute, but that's the longest I've had.
Mm-hmm.
Important you
Yeah,
got
me
people
too, yeah.
around you too that like really understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how I'd deal with seeing that. You'd think, well, he's dead.
Got a couple of good knockout stories.
Have you got?
Yeah. So the first one was when I was like 11 or 12 and I was doing no foot cans in my backyard and I didn't know anything.
Play on,
So
player.
I used to ride without a helmet. You shouldn't do that now, but when you're 11 or 12, you thought it was pretty cool. And then I was riding by myself in the backyard and doing no foot cans
Yeah.
and no one was home.
It's quite a weird thing to do anyway. Like, you wouldn't do it now, would you? As a professional bike rider, you wouldn't go and do 2-foot cans on your own.
But
And neither would I do in any jumps, I don't think, without a helmet.
No.
So like, would not even... But you're 11 or 12, you think it's normal.
Yeah.
it's the most important time of your life. You've got to learn that no foot can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
How else you,
By yourself,
on the to-do list.
with no one else. And then I just left my legs over the top tube, and I like just got slammed on the side of my head and like knocked out. So I kind of come around and I'm there in the backyard still, because we had jumps in our
I
backyard.
have no idea how long.
And then I just went back in the house. I'm like, wow, I'm tired. I might have a nap. So I have a nap, like all the things probably shouldn't do, but you don't know, you know.
Yeah.
And then that was the first one. Then the next one I was riding with Blinky, and I just went like, did this jump, just went over the bars, and just onto my face with an open face helmet, and I just had like full gravel rash all over my face. And then I was like, I come around, but I was like not really all there yet. And we went to this like corner shop with this Indian guy, and I started speaking to him with an Indian accent.
Oh no!
I don't know why.
It just was.
Because I was just
Mate, that period
I
in
was like-
between is so weird, isn't it?
drunk from a crash.
Yeah. Literally punch
Well,
drunk. Yeah.
The guy's like, hello.
taking the piss.
He's like, what's wrong with this guy? He's trying to help him. There's blood all down his face. And he helped me a lot, but I was like speaking to him back in an Indian accent.
Oh, mate.
Sir.
Oh no.
It's like, how does it even happen?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, what is your brain doing in that period? Because that period is.
It's obviously like half switched off.
Confused.
Yeah.
Just replicating whatever it sees, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so
That's
I must have
crazy.
done something that's like a memory part that
Yeah.
replicates things.
People have that though, right? They have like a nasty car crash or something, and they come back and they can speak a different language and do all
I
sorts.
don't,
Is that true?
I don't think they can learn a language.
People come back from stuff and they can like speak the different language.
What? I wasn't
That is-
speaking.
That is a
Not
thing.
sure.
That is a thing.
Where does the information come from, though?
I'm telling you, man, that is a thing. I'm telling you.
I've heard.
Use the comments section, folks.
Yeah, please.
Please. There's an example of a woman who came around from
I
Tell
think
us
she
which
had an
link.
accent.
and she
think
could
she
speak
had an
like
accent.
Chinese.
And I want to do the accent, but no,
No,
she
no, no,
can't. Not Mandarin. She spoke in an accent that every part of my body is having to hold myself back from doing the accent right now. But it was an accent that she spoke in, and she couldn't stop.
Is that right? Well, you
from
know
a
that
head
story.
injury. Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So it wasn't the full language.
No, but
Oh,
because
so-
I just don't understand where the
so
information.
My crash was actually normal. It was normal to speak in the Indian accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a standard thing. Yeah. You
But Blinky was just pissing himself the whole time because I'm just speaking Indian like an Indian to this Indian guy.
Do you ever if you hang out with some people, like people I think that are really good socially, often they pick up accents.
I pick up accents real bad.
Do you?
Yeah, super bad.
I've
Yeah,
got
I
a couple of
noticed that about
friends that
myself.
do. Like Brendan goes a bit American when we're in America.
Yeah, that's exactly the same as me.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get like a little.
Howdy,
I get a
partner.
little- yeah. All of a sudden, you're wearing a big belt buckle. And you're like,
Cowboy boots.
And a hat.
I didn't have this on this morning.
Yeah, definitely stand out in the UK wearing that.
I don't know.
Have you ever had after your let's say after your corner shop incident afterwards? Have you ever had prolonged symptoms from a concussion?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. What have they been for you?
Well, I did
Not
all
Mandarin, I assume.
It's
I'm never gonna
also
live
I
that
did all
down.
the wrong things for the concussion, not promoting them, but yeah, I crashed before qualifying in Lords in 2016 or 17, and I just hit the side of my head, but not a really hard crash, but like kind of a weird impact, so you get like a bit of a whiplash, and then I like went to get up and get on my bike, and I had no balance, so I could hardly stand up.
Nice.
And then I like, it kind of comes back. So you're like, oh, it's all right. And then you roll down. Not like good, but you can roll down. So it's
Yeah.
like, all right. And then I I was like, well, I'll try and do the racing. And then did the race, but I wasn't very fast, so probably a little bit slow. But then we went to the party all night. Yeah.
4-finger breaking.
Yeah. There's definitely some of that. And then we went to the party all night, and then I flew to America the next morning. So like it was a combination of the wrong things. And then I was driving the rental car in America, and I was like, I had to pull over because I couldn't drive because it was like too hard to focus. It was too much.
Really, yeah.
Ooh.
And I was like, well, I have to pull over. And then after that, then I missed like the next 2 races. But I was like, just like not.
Is that your
really
own decision
there,
to
and
miss
my
it?
vision wasn't like good.
Or who would normally step in? Normally, like, would a team manager go, look, you've had a
Yeah,
biggie, you're obviously not with it.
I think now you would hope more and more.
Yeah.
But there's still some where it kind of gets pushed under the rug a bit.
For sure.
Because
It's always
the
a bit of a
rider
badge of honour,
always
right?
wants to race, and you just hit your head. So how can you make a decision? Like you can't make a good decision when your brain's not working properly.
No.
So that was at that point. That was more on me probably because you're like, oh, I have to, right? And you're like, new contract, whatever, you have to do it. But that was like doing all the wrong things, and then it affected me for like a month.
Really?
After. Yeah. So I had like a month where I was like a bit slow and not like really all there.
What was that focus mainly?
Yeah, they couldn't focus properly and sometimes affected by light. So bright lights and bright sun. Then you're always wearing sunglasses and yeah.
Mate, it's so interesting how different it is for. I think that's the problem. Is it's so like it's such a sliding scale of different things that can affect people.
Yeah, and every crash is different because it hit a different part of your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your brain has all the different sides of it that do different things, and you hit it in a different way every time.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? They put nodes in people's. There was like a experiment. They put nodes in people's. They pass current basically in different spots through your head, and you become good at. You become enhanced at different things. So they were doing like a shoot 'em up game. And this was like technology they were aiming to put into soldiers
Oh, right, yeah.
to make them be able to like
Like
focus.
Neuralink sort of stuff, maybe.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and this is just like a battery thing going through different points in your head, and it improved your. So they did it with someone. This level is basically like a shoot 'em up level on a computer game, and they did it with the person without the current being passed through, and then with 2 separate times. And the first time they were just dog shit; they couldn't hit anything.
Yeah.
And then the second time they made it somehow fair because it sounds like a crap thing. It sounds like they've just done the level the second time, and
Right.
but it was insane. The next time it felt. The person said that it felt like they hadn't even done it. They felt like they hadn't even completed the same level. It was like 5 minutes long, and they had like 100% hit rate. So that's just through like electricity passing.
I wonder how long it'd be until that made its way into like sport.
I mean, imagine it if you looked.
All of a sudden, it's like someone's doing that. You've got like little nodes. You put your helmet on, drop in for a race.
Imagine if Jackson's got batteries in his
You
helmet.
could
And
tune
maybe
your
that's the thing.
brain, yeah.
Maybe that's the thing. Or basketball players just been able to just shoot way more accurate.
I mean, they must have
They
must have tried. Someone must have. You know, imagine how beneficial it would be in like Formula One, for instance, being able to like maintain focus for all of those laps, or war, I guess, or like fighter pilots, or
Yeah, it'll be a thing soon enough, I'd say.
yeah.
I'd say so. I wonder who'd be the first rider to use it. Who do you think the first person would use it at the moment in World Cups? Who'd be like, I'll do that. I think it's probably someone not top, but like mid pack. Would be like, fuck, that's the thing I need.
Old as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like an old dog. I'm not-
to tune the brain up, yeah.
yeah.
Just wire the goat up.
Yeah.
Put the helmet on. Who knows?
He's going to do another 10 years.
Yeah, I reckon, yeah.
You just got the.
Just tune the brain up.
Imagine how gnarly it'd be because it put the electricity on as the helmet goes on, so your eyes would change. How cool would that be? Like, just got focus.
Focus, yeah. He looks pretty focused at the top of the hill, the goat, though. I've
He's a
seen him at
goat,
the
isn't
top of the hill a few times. He's a very focused guy.
He is indeed.
Gotta be. So what's the rest of the season been like, having gotten injured? Obviously, you still have obligations to be at the races
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So is that you then just like transition into that role quite quickly?
Yeah, it's luckily it's pretty easy with that for me, so I can just go into another role and focus on that. And
Yeah.
we've got the privateer project team thing that we've set up for this year, so we're trying to get that up and running and help out some riders with that. So that keeps me busy as well as WynTV and pretty much just spending time up on the track wherever there's an Olly section and watching.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think, should we dig into the privateer stuff? I think that could be quite good because we really want to talk about that. Or is something you'd like to go
Well,
back over?
I'd really
first?
like to talk about it, but
Yeah.
first, let's
Yeah.
head to brilliant ad. Davey, I feel tired.
Oh,
It's like the world's getting on top of me at the minute.
is it
I feel stressed. I feel like
ugly? Oh, sorry.
I
Yeah.
do actually. Why'd you say? Yeah, I do. Anyway, I feel like little things like, I feel like
Pathetic.
my nails. A bit. Yeah, I feel a bit like
Useless.
someone's taken the saturation. They've just turned it down
Yeah,
on life, on me.
yeah.
Do you have any suggestions on how I can pick myself up out of this?
I do, mate. I've got a great suggestion for you, and it's one of the reasons I started taking AG1. Okay.
What's that?
Well, let me tell you a little bit about it, okay? So AG1 is a nutritional drink, okay? It's got 75 different vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients.
Dude, that must take you so long to make if you have to get 75 different things, pipettes,
Yeah.
little bits of powder,
Yeah, loads of different
like
things.
leaves and stuff. How long does that take?
That must take
ages.
forever, but thankfully, AG1 have done all that hard work for you. So all you have to do is just open your tub in the morning,
Yeah.
put a scoop in, mix it with water. I like to go 50% water, scoop a little bit more water on top,
Okay, yeah.
shake it up,
Yeah.
straight down the neck, and you're covered, man. You got all your like vitamins and minerals, whole food sourced
way.
ingredients, and it's going to probably alleviate a little bit of that stress because it's nice to know that you've covered all of your nutritional bases
Yeah, the
before you
stress
head into
goes
the
down.
day.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah, yeah.
like you say, your nails are going to feel a little bit better. Your hair's going to start looking a little bit thicker. It probably can't make you better looking, but you can try. There's no harm.
Can
in,
it try? I can try.
There's no harm in giving it a shot, mate.
Is it better? Is it good for your gut?
It's fantastic for your gut. Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
what I need.
Yeah.
because Mine have been.
Exactly, mate. That little sicky feeling you feel
Yeah.
all the time,
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to start going away. You're not
Oh,
going to feel as
please.
anxious. You're not going to feel as nervous.
Mate, is there anything that look? I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that mate. But you got any sort of like codes or offers?
I got a little bit. I got something for you, mate. I got a little something
Have
for
you?
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So if a comprehensive solution is what you need,
It is.
yeah, yeah, for your supplement routine, then try AG1 and get a free 1 year supply of vitamin D3.
That's so
Okay.
good because there's not much sun here, and I've got the saturation turned down. That's so good.
Exactly. Okay, and then you're going to get 5 free travel packs as well. So when
I
you're
travel?
on, you travel loads. It's a super easy little pack. Rip it off, dump it in some water, give it a shake, straight down
Dude,
your
where
neck.
do I go and what do I do?
Okay, you're going to go to drinkag1.com/ridecompanion.
Okay.
That's drinkag1.com/ridecompanion and check it out. You go there, it's going to do all the work for you. It's going to give you your vitamin D, it's going to give you your travel packs, and you're going to get on with your life feeling better than what
Better
you do
than
right now.
this.
Yeah, exactly. Better than this.
Anything can be better than this. Eh?
Exactly. Thanks, AG1.
Thanks, AG1. We're back in. That was a good ad, wasn't it?
Huh?
Yeah, very good.
You enjoyed that ad,
Enjoyed
yeah?
it.
It's quite professional, that, to be fair, wasn't it? Like how he did it.
It was
straight
good.
back
I
in.
just saw it out of my periphery as
That
well.
was actually, wow.
Yeah,
Really,
it's
the
good,
game
yeah.
has really stepped up.
Yeah. Not bad, not bad.
was
So,
lovely.
Privateer Project, you've been running it for how long now?
We just started it for this year.
What was it before?
It was
Privateer something.
so I just did the Privateer Award since 2019
Yeah.
and on WynTV, and it started with just pretty much crowdfunding to get some money to give to the best privateer at every race, and then some sponsors got behind it. Shimano's been behind it for a while, so then we've kind of grown from that, and now into like kind of a small team where we have a mechanic and we help one of the best privateer every race. So yeah.
So good.
Wow, that's awesome.
What was it that drove you to do that? Like back at the start, what was it that made you?
Well, I was a privateer back in 2008, and I just came and did it kind of by myself with no real help, and the few people that give me a little bit of help made such a difference. So just trying to give back now that I'm in a position where I can. So pretty much it's cool to be able to see those riders that's come from not much and end up at the top, and try and be there to help a little bit on their journey.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
What when you were doing it and you were doing the privateer circuit and you were probably struggling to get to race and stuff, what were those like main things that made it easier that someone would step in and help with?
Having somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
For sure. Decent food. I remember I used to make all my lunch at the breakfast at the hotel, and then just roll it up in napkins and put it in my hoodie. And I'd just eat all these crappy ham sandwiches from the hotel buffet.
Yeah.
But
and would you have no pit area either? You'd
nothing.
literally just be
yeah,
out
and then
there.
you just be out in the rain or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's all quite.
Soggy ham sandwich.
Yeah. I came to Europe by myself, so I didn't even have a van or anything, so I just came and had to meet people if I wanted to lift to the race. So it was kind of a good thing, because then you meet everyone straight away. You've got no choice. You just have to go up and how you doing? I'm Wyn, blah blah, and then you very quickly know most of the people in the pits.
Yeah.
Because they offer to help where they can, and then that kind of remembering those people helping me out, kind of now I can help other people out, and I like to help people that are trying to do it for themselves and make it happen, So it's cool.
What are some of the? I think it's important probably to go back, because some of your privateer stories are amazing, and I think for anyone watching or listening, we've done a few of these episodes together, and there's a load of those stories on there, so feel free to go back. But what are some of the success stories that you've seen coming out of it the last year in particular, that where you're that kid really got the help he needed, sort of thing? Is there anyone that really stands out?
In the last year, it's quite recent, but the most successful would be Camille Blanche, just to go from being sleeping in a van at Lenzerheide race to now being world champion and overall winner, and dominant, not she's always there now.
Yeah.
So to do that from nothing is pretty crazy.
I think first result, I thought, as you do, you just think, well, this has come almost from nowhere. You think it's a fluke, and then absolutely not.
Yeah, so I think she's probably the most impressive one. She won 500 euros of the Privateer Award in 2019. So,
wow.
Yeah, and that's not that long ago. No, and now she's a dominant force, so it's pretty cool. But there's quite a few that have gone on to teams. I think 80% of them all went on to teams. So,
okay,
it's cool. I think sometimes it can be hard making the step onto a team, because you don't often you go to a team, maybe you wouldn't be your first choice.
Okay.
Because that's the option you have,
Yeah, probably the only option.
And then maybe there's some things that are not exactly what you'd choose to ride. So it can be hard as well.
I think there's also that middle ground where you're sponsored, you're riding, so you have obligations, you're expected to race, but you don't have anywhere near enough money or
no resources to actually make it
so
possible.
you have to be at the races, and from the outside you've got a nice clean jersey on, nice logo on it, but you actually
don't have anything.
Have ham sandwiches stuffed in your clean jersey.
It's harder,
yeah.
Well, I just had a second-hand Iron Horse Sunday and raced and whatever. I wasn't too worried, so it was I didn't go for the look, but I had the right bike anyway.
Yeah, true. Maybe that's a good thing though, because it makes you stand out even more. I've loved it when you've seen certain athletes, maybe not in downhill, probably there is some. Oh, there's obviously the jeans guy, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, Denim Destroyer.
Yeah, Denim Destroyer. That really stands out.
Yeah.
And there's been a few moto guys that have raced in white kit with no logos on, because you're actually, and then people maybe pay more attention, because no, they really need some race kit and he really needs some help.
That's what I think is I don't know, if you're paying yourself to go racing, then you don't need to wear all the brands and all this stuff, because why would you do that? You already look then you've got support.
Yeah. And
you want to be looking like you need support, not you've got support.
Yeah.
So I think that's a mistake a lot of kids make. They think they need all the stuff the factory riders have, and I don't think you do. Or factory riders and mountain bike, but
yeah. Do you think it is? Sorry, Ollie.
No, go.
Do you think it is what's the word? Accessible for people to get into downhill now?
It's getting less accessible. It was very accessible It still is kind of, but not as much now because you have this semi-final. So you don't go to the final with 60 anymore.
No.
You go on 60, then 30. So now it's pretty hard to get noticed, I would say.
That's a good point. You think they've made it, harder to get noticed, I guess.
Yeah, and harder for a privateer. Like,
yeah.
if only 30 ride in the final, then how many privateers want to line up? At the moment, this year, there's been quite a few, but I think they'll make it harder next year.
Oh,
I can see them making it harder because they want to make it more elite. But for me, I'm not sure if that's the best thing, because I think the coolest thing on our sport is that you can be the best rider in your country. You can put your bike in a box and fly to Europe and have a go at racing the World Cup. And if you're good, then someone will help you. So this is pretty cool, like with our sport, but not many sports you can do that. Like you couldn't do that with motocross; it's too expensive.
Yeah.
And you can't fly your bike in the plane.
Can't have a pop at Formula One, can you?
No. So that was the cool thing in our sport, and then you could make it accessible to people from all around the world.
What would you say? What would you say would be the ideal answer if it was like moving in that direction of like it being more elite? Because there's obviously, it's easy to talk about like the things that aren't good, but I guess making it more elite also makes it more like televisable and perhaps maybe reaches a bigger
audience.
So it could be better. You know, there's like two sides to whatever coin you talk about. What would be the best thing to do if it was to go that way?
To have a really good feeder race series, but then how many people want to sponsor someone that doesn't ride in the top series? Like, do the other brands hang around for someone that only races in the small series? Like, I don't think so. Like, I wouldn't be rushing out to sponsor someone that doesn't race in the top tier series. Like, how many Formula 2 results, unless you're a crazy car fan, you don't follow it?
Yeah, so true.
So,
Yeah, man, it's
a
tough.
hard one.
It is a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is a tough one because you're literally talking about, changing a sport and making it less accessible, which is going to limit people coming through. And it's like, what is the long game with that? There really isn't one, is there? It doesn't seem like, not that I can think of. Like, what is that? What does that look like in 5 years?
How many riders at the top now? There's quite a few that have made their way there over a long period of time. And would they have made it?
Look at Bernard.
Yeah, Bernard and Andy Kolb, perfect examples. Yeah. Would they have made it if they had to start in a lower series? It's hard to say because then they might not have had the sponsorships.
Like you say, you're going to a sponsor and asking them for help, and they're like, okay, where can I watch you? Yes,
you can't.
You can't. Okay, so what are we getting for our money? Yeah. It's like social posts and stuff. I guess it's kind of cool, but
they have to really stand out from the crowd if they're going to get sponsorship for that.
Do you know when we were younger, I feel like there was more coverage of like a broader range of races and events. So it was like the IXS rounds would get coverage in dirt or whatever, and for some reason, as we've gone on, and the sport does get bigger and it gets better coverage. It's not like results page and a picture.
No,
like for some reason you sort of value the other ones less, and yet they're. I mean, how many of those sort of races have you done in the past before doing World Cups or alongside World Cups?
I started like with a bunch of those like smaller races, and then did a World Cup. So I like built up to that. Yeah, and I think that's another thing kids do now. They don't do any of those other races, and then they kind of try and just do World Cups, which is pretty demoralizing if you don't qualify. Yeah, like if you never qualify, well then it's kind of demoralizing. And then even if you look through Bernard's results, it's taken him a long time to move up. He's got quite a few races where he missed qualifying, or he was like he wouldn't have qualified in the 60 to 80 that we miss now. Yeah. So I don't know. It takes a long time to get there for some people. And I think those stories are cooler. Like more people can get behind that. Yeah. Than like it is cool to watch the junior phenom that comes in and just takes over, but it's cool to see someone make their way to the top. Yeah. Like there's more of a story to tell because it's over a longer time.
Yeah, with you. I agree. I guess there's space for other series, like you say. Crankworks springs to mind straight away.
I think Crankworks could be a real benefit. They could really benefit from this happening in this situation at the moment, but they need to like maybe make their series a bit more accessible because it's all over the world at the moment.
Yeah, it's really hard as well because they're also trying to get views, and it's like it's such a chicken and egg thing. It's almost I sort of feel like sometimes it's like actually how we consume stuff that's changed that's made it worse. So like rather than like blaming big race organisers, it's almost like you're less willing to pay attention. Because I remember reading up on race reports on smaller races, and I didn't necessarily know everyone, but I was just hungry for like more information and find out who the next guy is or whatever. And I almost think it's like we've gone more TikTok-y, more like
Yeah, now attention span's way too short now.
Instant,
Like,
boom, done.
yeah. It's like, how do you get around that? That's mega hard. That's a way tougher problem to crack, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
But even now with the semi-final and final, the attention span's not there for that either. So.
Well, it's kind of. I think Bernard spoke about that quite a bit. It's kind of seems obvious if you look at the views on the YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Like people aren't tuning in for the whole thing because it's just too much.
Yeah, it's 6
As
hours.
a spectator, it's 6 hours, and for you, no doubt, at the races as well. Not racing, you're there. It's like
I've got to watch it.
you're watching the whole thing.
I've got to watch it because I've got to interview people about what happened.
Yeah.
And they'll get to the final. I'm like, he was on the last rider. You used to be like peaking for the last rider, and now you're like, here we go. He won. Good. It's like because you've been watching 6 hours of racing, and it's not the same hype, you know.
No.
But I think surely that changes. But then you'll just go. They'll just go to 30 qualifying, and then you won't have any semi-final, and then you have your 30 riders.
Yeah.
So you
And
just have
you'll
quality and then
less-
top 30.
Yeah, you'll just have less riders being able to start. I think even to start qualifying.
So objectively, what's creating that decision? What are we saying are the reasons for that? What are we saying are the reasons for them choosing to just do 30 riders?
I think so they can televise everything, and because it's more elite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure because I kind of liked our sport being accessible.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
I'm with you on that for sure. If you were a young rider coming through now, you're hungry for it, you want to race World Cups, what do you think the optimal route is to get there? If you put yourself in your shoes.
Depends on the age.
Okay.
Because I came over and I would have been already out of junior. So I was like 20. So that would have been a problem for me.
Right.
But
Okay.
if you're a junior
Yeah.
and you can get there and do it and do well in junior and then go into elite, then you probably have the best pathway that way because you could get some sponsorship through being a good junior. And you probably end up on a team. If you're winning or podium in junior, then you get on a team. Then you're already in a team for your first elite season.
Yeah.
And that would be the ideal pathway. But if you're coming in as an elite, it's pretty hard.
Fucking hell.
Unless you go out and win some races.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get lucky.
Yeah.
Or, yeah. Talented, but you know what I mean.
Get talented.
Get talented.
Make the most of a rainy day.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I'm meaning.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the army, innit?
Davey sort of already asked. You've already asked this question a bit, but like, what is the thing that makes the change? So from being a privateer, let's say, where are you spending your money? If when you were younger, if someone had given you
If
a
you had
privateer award, yeah,
You could book a hotel.
is that
or
literally it? That's
you could book a hotel. You could have dinner, like a good dinner. Or it's like doing everything as cheap as possible.
yeah.
Yeah.
I speak to Preston about it quite a bit. Preston Williams.
Yeah.
And it's just it's so heartbreaking. You just like he's doing good. He's
And he's a good rider. Yeah.
really amazingly talented rider, and you just how much he struggles to just to make it to the rounds, and has to work in order to pay for them. I mean, I know it's racing and it's fun and stuff, but it's like, yeah, you want to remove those barriers, don't you? Really, for a sport to just really like get like rocket fuel and for everyone to be.
And I think it can't go on forever like that, can it? Like there'll be a point where you go, I can't literally live like this anymore.
Yeah.
Just spending everything on getting to races where no one's acknowledging, well, not no one, but like you're not getting that help that you need to go to the next level.
You kind of have to set a point where you're like, oh, we'll make a decision here.
Yeah.
For me, I was like, oh, I've got to try for one season and see what happens and then go from there.
Yeah.
And then I already had like a small sponsorship for the next year, and then from there it's like step by step, but it took ages. And then I was doing video stuff from 2010, so like doing WynTV stuff at the races, and then I was like, am I ever gonna make any money from this? Like, I was like, well, people don't even see that this is valuable. I used to get views on Vimeo, and I was like, well, this is good, but no one sees any value. And I was like, is this ever gonna?
You were early then, man.
Yeah,
You were super early with that stuff.
yeah.
Holy. What made you think of doing that? Was it?
I just kind of like random videos. Like there was like New Zealand TV show where they did like sports cafe kind of set up like this, and they just talk crap, and they just do funny shit. So I was like, this is kind of cool. And then I like kind of like that style and Kiwi humor as well.
Of course.
And just joking around, like semi-serious interviews. I kind of like that.
That's cool, man, that you've paved that whole thing out of doing WynTV now at races, and people can't wait to hear from it and watch it and stuff.
Oh,
That's
it's the best.
So sick that you've
The
done
whole
that.
approach to something so serious in light-hearted.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
just try and tell a bit more of the story. Like most of the writers don't want to tell too much if the interview's like pretty serious. But if they get it more relaxed, then they can actually tell what they had for breakfast and what went wrong in the morning, and they had the shits or whatever.
Yeah.
And everyone loves that, you know? Like, they want to hear what actually happened.
This is the thing, people froth for like more behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, okay, you're trying to make the sport more elitist and stuff, but people, when you lift, you know, you take the helmet off and you learn who these people are and do they have a sense of humor and all that sort of, like, for me,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, I spoke about it a million times on here, but it is like all the vlog stuff, like all the behind the scenes stuff is as good as the racing a lot of the time. You want to see track walk, you want to see first run, you want to see all that sort of stuff. And I think Hardline that's just gone was like a really good indicator of that, because again, you're tuning in at night, you're like, Jono's vlog's out, Bernard's out, everyone's doing stuff, and it makes the racing, you're so much more invested in it.
Yeah, well, then you're almost there living it with them. It's like, one of our friends at home digs the jumps, Betty B, and he just watches Bernard's stuff all the time, and he's like, I feel like I'm there with you guys. And like, it's like,
it's good.
Yeah, it's good. Then you can see what's going on, you know. Yeah. And you get a kind of back seat to what's going on. You maybe don't see everything, but
That's the cool thing as well about the sport being like it wouldn't be the same if you did if Verstappen did a vlog at F1, would it? Yeah. Like, I don't think it would work.
Well, he
like,
wouldn't.
Filming his
He
shoes
wouldn't
and his
open
dog.
up.
No, he wouldn't. It wouldn't be like GoPro.
No,
would it?
No, it'd be a team of people with
like,
cameras. I don't know.
We are here at the
yeah.
Monaco circuit.
It would be dry as anything. It's like
There'd probably be some people that would be good at it. Like Ricardo, I bet would do something really cool, maybe, but it just wouldn't be the same.
So because our sport is at the point where the people are not bigger than the thing, so they're open to people interviewing them and having a laugh. Yeah. Which is a really good thing. So maybe if it grows bigger, it's also detrimental to how the sport is. Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, totally. You see it in motorsports. I mean, those interviews, dude, there's like zero interesting about those interviews.
Well, they're all like media trained, aren't they? And they just give like the politician answer.
And they do the sips. How crazy are the sips?
The sips,
The sips where you have to get them in, like...
Yeah,
and you can tell they're not drinking. And just like, well, I think the it's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy as well how people go crazy when an athlete does just say something a bit like, like we need that, because it like the hype that it builds.
Well, it's good that some of them just speak their mind, and then they suddenly become a star.
Yeah,
totally.
At the moment, and hopefully that changes in all sports now.
Yeah,
that people can be more themselves.
Makes it engaging. Like we all want more engagement, but yet you've got athletes who daren't say anything in order to maybe like upset a sponsor or this and that. You see Hayden Deegan call Jet Lawrence out on the podium. It's like, that's what we need.
Yeah.
A little bit of beef every now and again is kind of cool.
I like Sagan. I always think about Sagan. He's like the wild man, crazy guy. And then if you actually look at the guy, he's like pretty mellow, isn't he? He's just the only guy in the group of people that are completely only serious ever.
Yeah.
Well, Pogacar did a good interview at the Tour when he was cooked, and he's just like, I'm fucked. And I don't think they can use it, but like, he's actually said how he feels.
Yeah,
it's so refreshing, isn't it?
It's like, at least he's like honest, you know,
giving his personality out.
They're like, how do you feel? I'm fucked. It's like too good.
It's funny.
Yeah, I
isn't
think
it?
more of that stuff, the better. I think the more
Yeah.
access to athletes and stuff, it's just better for the sport when you can lift the lid off.
But
uh,
it's
it.
hard for someone to come in and actually access the athletes like that. Like, if you come in with 3 cameras, are you going to get the same content as the vlog with the 1 GoPro? No.
No.
So it'll be like,
Yeah.
hey, and you're like, oh, hey.
Yeah.
It's like our conversation wouldn't be natural. Then
Nah.
it would be like, whoa.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. So yeah, so you've been doing WynTV for how long? So over 10 years then?
Yeah, it's
13
just like
years, isn't it?
13 years. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Rad.
Yeah, I love that. Love it.
So,
More.
Wyn, how can people actually get involved with Privateer Project? Is there ways that people getting like donating, or is it? How does it work?
We've got all sponsors on board for it this year. So we've got GT Continental, FSA Yoshimura Fox. It's quite a list, but
PitViper.
Nah, keep it going.
PitViper
dude.
as well.
Doing
Yeah.
that, yeah.
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 I think we're nearly there. Shimano's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And-
they just create the purse and then
Yeah, and then we were just giving like 1,000 euros now per race. We would pay out to each of the winning privateers. But then the next race, they come in our team. And they have the choice, if they want, they can have the bike.
that's
So we've got,
really
like,
cool that.
8 bikes we can give away.
Wow.
And
Has
then
anyone done that this season? Sorry to interrupt
we
you.
just put... Roger took one from the start of the year.
Okay.
But he's running a couple of different components, so he's got different sponsors for certain things. But then we're like, well, you can have whatever you want to have from our bike, you can have it. And then he runs his forks, his tires, his wheels. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because a lot of privateers have like small sponsorships, so we've got to work around those things.
Mhm.
But yeah, we've got Roger Vera on one, so he's been on the GT all year. And then we've also got a Spanish kid, Danny Castellanos. He just got on one, so we just sent him one to get him on it for Worlds.
Oh wow.
And then he did his first ride on it last weekend at Spanish National, and he won the junior race, so it was good. And then he's racing it at Worlds, so it's quite cool.
Rad.
That's so sick,
Yeah.
man. It must feel good for you as well, man, just to be giving that bit back.
Yeah,
know?
try to, yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
Like-
you know how hard it is.
yeah,
Exactly, you've lived it.
just I've seen it. Yeah, so I've seen this Spanish kid like ripping, and I was like, oh, I don't know who he is, and his kit looks pretty like old school. So I was like, and his bike looked like an old giant Glory. So I'm like, we can try and help him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Wow.
I think he got on the podium. He got lucky a bit with the weather in Leo game, but he got on the podium in junior, so it was like pretty impressive.
Rad.
And I think he's qualified all the races, so that's like pretty good.
Do you do all the selection? You do all of the...
Yeah. So normally you have to try and do that after the race alongside WynTV, and then sometimes it's difficult, but yeah.
Then you have to go hunt them out in the pits.
Yeah.
Try find them.
Yeah. It's sometimes hard to find them.
Yeah.
Because they're already like driving home or something.
I mean, that's mega cool, that is.
Yeah.
You're sort of like Willy Wonka, aren't you, of downhill mountain biking?
Winnie Wonka.
Yeah, with the ticket, the golden ticket.
Winnie Wonka.
Winnie Wonka.
Here we go.
That is
We'll get
brilliant.
you a top hat for the next
You need
one.
a big purple top hat. You get loads of sponos on there. That's good. Yeah. Feel free to take that idea.
Remember we were
that's
talking
that's
about
up to you.
doing merch. We were looking for that one thing.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
The Winnie Wonka hat.
Oh wow. Okay.
Good on you. Well, cool project
Yeah,
though.
super sick.
I think the chance to do those things is actually, it's really difficult to come up with something that actually benefits people, because it always ends up being like everything else, business. It's
Yeah.
marketing and it's business, isn't it? So to have come up with an idea that actually helps people and is...
And then we just had Jess get injured at Hardline, so that was unfortunate for her. But then now Roger's going to work with her mechanic for the next 3 races as well. So then he comes into the team as like kind of part of the team.
Right.
Right.
But then he gets a longer privateer project experience. Yeah.
That's so sick.
So it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it is, man. It's
Yeah.
an amazing thing to do. You've been on GT for like how long? Since 2016.
Yeah. So this is
How
8th year.
And
yeah.
why? I mean, I kind of can see how.
Yeah,
I
the
can kind of
brand,
see why. But
the brand kind of just fits to my image pretty well. So we're a good fit, and I've been there now 8 years. So it's like it's easy to work with people you know. And of course, yeah, there's often chances where people offer you to go somewhere else, but you look at the options and then you see you're fitting nice there, and it's just like it's almost becomes a bit more family, you know,
yeah.
when you're there for so long.
Do you manage the team or any at all?
The privateer side of things I'm in charge of, but they help out where they can. So I just work with a video guy, Louis, and we do all the WynTV and the privateer project videos. I think Roger's one is releasing today, so we should have that out, and then that'll be the first privateer project video of the season. We just try and release them whenever nothing's happening.
Right.
So not rushing to release them after the certain race, because it's kind of
There's a lot.
not worth chasing the rat race of like a post-race video. That's
Yeah.
like kind of boring now. We want to try and tell the story of the person and tell their story of being in the team for the week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've always thought it's a good sign to have a sponsor for a really long time.
Yeah.
And I think that things like the privateer project are what come from it. Like
Yeah,
things that it has to take time, doesn't it? If you
You can't do that in the first year. 'Cause
No.
it'd be like, why would we do this?
yeah,
Yeah.
and you can't. And people that move around so much, I feel like you've only got so many moves before you stop being almost useful,
Yeah,
don't you?
yeah.
You like.
Well, then
Yeah.
you're on like maybe the brands get worse or the bikes
Yeah.
get worse, and then by the end of your career, you're on a fully rigid.
Penny farthing.
Yeah, you're like, "Oh, it works good." Yeah.
How much do you have to do with that, like with bikes, and do you help with design or?
Yeah, we speak with them
Yeah.
more and more now. It's like in the midst of like a big transition. So we're part of the same family with Focus now as well with Pon.
Yeah,
Um,
actually teammates in a way.
yeah, we're actually teammates.
Yeah.
Teammates. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we kind of GT's in a transition period now, and then we've got a new boss, so just taken over, and then I think we're gonna see some changes, and it should come
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah.
Bike changes.
Yeah, there'd be plenty of stuff coming, I think.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe. I don't know anything.
Could be.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. All right. What else we got in the book?
We've got a section called Ask Wyn Anything, and it
Alright.
kind of rhymes, which is pretty good, isn't it?
Kinda
Ask
rhymes.
Wyn Anything.
Does it
Kind of
rhyme?
rhymes.
Not sure.
No.
Dougie, can you make a jingle? Make it rhyme as well. That's all right.
Yeah, please.
But we thought we've
Yeah, there's some good ones actually as well. Once we knew
Is
it was
that
coming
good?
up, do a bit of a listener question thing up and see what came back.
we could go into those, couldn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to do that. It's slightly off topic, but we spoke and we had a bit of fun around the whole signing of PitViper thing.
Yeah.
And I just think it's because some people, it's like, you know, we talked about sponsorship relations and stuff like that, but people just fit with a brand. And
Yeah.
I can't remember how we ended up talking about it over WhatsApp, but I was like, if you're not a PitViper athlete, there's something going on. All of a sudden, PitViper guy. So I'd love to know more. Like, how did that come around? And like, yeah, what's it been like? Because I've seen this thing has grown quite big, quite quick. I remember seeing it as like maybe Pastrana's mate, or it was something like that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's become a pretty big thing.
So they were like a ski and snowboard crew who were like, they kind of wanted to make a parody of the ski industry.
Okay.
And so they started glasses, and they got like the ones from the Army surplus shop, and they just wrote PitViper on them. And then that's how the company started, and now it's grown into the big thing that is now.
Wow. It's a monster now, it seems.
And
like.
I remember like last year I started speaking with them through one of the guys at GT lives in Utah as well, and they're based out of there. So he connected me to them, and then I started speaking to JP there, and he just cracked me up from the first Zoom call we were on, and I was like, wow, these guys are on my level.
Yeah.
Like, we can just have a laugh. We're not like serious about anything. So Yeah, and even for the first video, they're like, "Can you do it more stupid?" I'm like,
Oh, my dear.
sounds good. And yeah, they're really pushing hard now. They've got quite a few new models of glasses and working on the goggles as well. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I guess a lot must go into that as well for you choosing these deals now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really think about who it is.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
can
can I fit with them? And like at the start, I'm like, wow, it's like quite aggressive look. And now I'm like loving the aggressive look because it's just like we're going to have a laugh.
Yeah.
Rather than I'm taking myself too seriously and I look like a professional racer. Like I'd rather have a laugh.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing the whole time anyway. So like now with a brand that really fits, so it's quite cool.
That's sick. Yeah, it works perfect. I just had to ask you because I think it's just really cool when you see those things come off that you just see the brand and you think, yeah, that's a good fit. They
just do funny stuff everywhere as well. Like if you go anywhere with them, it's a good laugh. So
really?
Yeah. They're like, buy a scooter, paint it, and give it away at Caldera. Like it's just like anything ridiculous, they're keen for it. So it's good.
Yeah. It's good, man. You can see it works. Ask Wyn anything after the break.
Whoa. What?
Don't skip this ad read. It's good.
It is good.
It is good.
It's also a giveaway, right?
Yeah, so bear with us because it's really good.
The thing is, first impressions, they matter.
They do matter.
There's no two ways around it. And your face is most likely the first thing that someone notices about you. How your skin looks is going to determine, good or bad, the impression. I decided it's time to put my best face forwards and started using Caldera Lab to do so. Clinically proven to reduce wrinkles, fine lines and signs of aging, Caldera Lab is the leader in men's skincare and is here to save the day and your confidence.
Important.
Enter our exclusive code, The Ride Companion. Davey, what is it?
It's The Ride Companion.
That's right, at calderalab.com to enjoy 20% off their best products. Stick with us. We're getting to the giveaway.
It's coming.
Right?
Now to the fun stuff. What products does Caldera offer? Let me tell you. First off, the clean slate. Starts and ends your day. This face wash leaves all skin types refreshed.
Then you'll apply the base layer right after to moisturise and hydrate your skin. Even better, it absorbs fast, leaving you with a matte finish to start your day confidently. We all want a matte finish.
Love a matte finish, mate. Then the Good is your go-to at-night face serum. To round it out, this clinically proven multifunctional serum that helps your skin look tighter and smoother, as well as helps reduce the visibility of wrinkles and fine lines.
Want to take things a step further? The Icon is the eye serum that helps you shine while addressing the 3 most common skin concerns around the eye: fine lines, dark circles, and puffiness.
All right, man. Let's just wind it back a little bit. We just spoke really briefly about the Good. Now, I think we should do a little giveaway. Should we give some good away?
I think that's a really good idea.
Let's do some good. All right, folks. If you would like to win some Caldera Lab Good serum, okay, it's going to retail at £77. We're going to give it away for free. All you have to do is head to the YouTube video.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, open your YouTube app,
Yeah.
find the podcast episode, and all you should do is just comment good on this video. Nothing else. No caps
There
locks.
must be like something else you have to do as well. Like, do you send in a video of you doing cartwheels or like, or maybe your bank details in the comments?
No, nothing. We just comment good.
So basically, if someone's listening or watching this, then they're already basically entered into this competition.
Very close.
To get this
Good
serum.
Good serum.
Wow.
Caldera Lab is made with top tier ingredients and a legit showstopper that is good for you today and in the long run. All it takes is 30 seconds in the morning and 30 seconds at night. Trust me, it's about time I got my skincare unlocked for the better. Doesn't get any easier than this.
You're right.
Easy, right? Okay. Now, maybe you just want to pick up some Caldera Lab, okay? All you got to do is head to calderalab.com.
Yeah.
Enter the code The Ride Companion. It's all in capitals, okay? Calderalab.com. The Ride Companion. That's going to give you a whopping 20% off. What a good offer.
That is a really good offer. So not only are we giving stuff away, we got an offer on.
Yeah, exactly. So, should we get back to this good podcast?
You did it again.
Very
you
good.
did another play on words. Really good.
Yeah, like a stand-up comedian.
You are brilliant.
Thank you, everyone. Comment good. on the YouTube channel, and we'll get back to this podcast.
Thanks, Caldera Lab. Ding ding ding. Ask Wyn anything. That was nice. You can't act like that didn't sound like it rhymed either.
I'm not sure it rhymed, but yeah.
Well, I need to get the questions out.
I got a quick question before. How do you balance racing and like producing and managing and doing content and stuff like that? This year's been a bit of an anomaly, I think, but previously.
Sometimes you don't, yeah.
You don't.
So something suffers, but I'm of the opinion you're probably better to do more than less. So I just do a bit of everything, and it generally works out. Okay. And sometimes your racing definitely suffers, but most people don't really look at my results anymore. So like they're watching the videos, but they're not really watching which place I am in the race.
Yeah. You think that's becoming more and more important, of being a personality in the sport?
I think so. Like being yourself.
For you especially, because you have one of those personalities. Like not everyone can pull off WynTV and all this fun stuff.
No,
but like it works for you.
Yeah. So I think if you can be yourself, that's really important, and that makes more of a difference than like if you're trying to be something that doesn't really look, or is it like gonna last? So yeah.
From the outside, it's real natural for you, and then when something happens, like your hand, it's like it doesn't have to suffer. You're still worth, you're still
at the races and keep busy.
And that's like, I guess that's just a decision you make. If you're just going to be pure race only, then when you do have a big off, you're going to be kind of useless to all your sponsors a bit, aren't you? Like, you've got to find your worth, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. And you can't do this sport and not get injured at some point.
Yeah.
Like, it's not if, it's when. Yeah.
You should consider putting the WynTV interviews up on your podcast.
Yeah, it could do.
The audio.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But we cut it pretty short, so we could just do a full uncut.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That'd be good. I think people would tune into that. So it was good to see you do that, especially it was through like lockdown, weren't it?
Yeah. I did the podcast for a bit, then it's like it's too much to try and do everything well.
Totally.
And I'm like, well, now I've got a baby as well, so
talk about that.
Even less sleep. So so we need to be a dad as well sometimes. Yeah.
What's it like? You travel a lot with your work, with whatever, and you've also been moving around loads. Actually, where you're personally based, how do you manage all that? And like, how are you deciding where to be and where to spend your time?
Well, up till now, it was like my wife's job would decide. So we were in the UK until December, and now we have a 6-month-old son, Vincent. So he pretty much made the decision for us to move to Austria because my wife's from Austria.
Right.
And we moved there, and then we're just based near Salzburg now, so it's quite good.
Nice.
It's easier for the travel.
So that's
to most of
something
the
you always
races.
have to think about as well, is like where you can travel from and being central a little bit. I just got the Wyn Masters thing.
Wyn Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just clicked.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's solid, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never lived anywhere else. I've never lived anywhere else. I've never been away for more than like 3 weeks. I always find I think it's so rad, like the amount of, I don't know, the life experience you get, like moving around these different places and like.
Well, I think it started because both myself and my brother went to boarding school when we were like 12. So from 12 we lived out of home, and then it's just normal to be like away and somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Australia to earn enough money to go and do that privateer season the first time. And then, pretty much from there, just lived wherever.
Wow.
What do you do in Australia?
I worked initially landscaping, and then I worked in some mine work.
Right.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of that there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I knew a bunch of people that were doing mines. Like when I lived there, I did like oil refinery shutdowns, and just you earn so much bank.
Yeah, well, I did shutdowns, but for the mines.
For the mines, and people would do like 3 months on, 3 months off, then go do a mine, then come back. It was really nice way to live, I think.
Yeah, it's
tough,
good.
but like full on. But
you have a lot of time off as well.
yeah,
But then
exactly.
most of them just spend all their money and drink.
On
Yeah.
piss.
Yeah.
It literally was that,
But-
mate. Yeah,
I was living off like $50 a week, so I could just save everything.
really.
Yeah.
Where
I
do you
go
see
to-
yourself settling down, like long term? And also,
It's-
sorry, I'm going to interrupt again, but like, is the whole Brexit travel thing something that you have to be mindful of? Because I spoke to a friend of mine who you know,
Yeah.
Bowman, the other day,
Yeah.
who was talking about like he's finding it really hard to travel to all the races at the moment and live in another country because you can only spend
Yeah.
so much time away.
For me, I'm lucky I've got residence card for the UK for Austria as well. So
Oh, nice.
I can kind of come and go. And they always like look at my passport and start checking stamps. Then I pull out this card and they're like,
Oh, really?
yeah.
That's
I'm
it.
like, all right, yeah. So that's quite good.
Yeah.
But I think to live probably in New Zealand one day would be nice, but just the isolation is hard sometimes
Right.
because it's so far from anywhere else. If you want to go anywhere else, it's really far.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do that trip often.
Oh man, I've only been once, and like, but traveling, I'd obviously heard a lot about New Zealand.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite a dreamy experience landing in Queenstown for the first time. Is like everything that everyone's ever told you about it. It's like mountains everywhere. It doesn't seem like a place I'd want to move from, but I guess the grass is always greener.
Just like you want to go somewhere sometimes.
What's an example, like as in to Europe? Or
Yeah, if you want to go to Europe, it's 24 hours in the plane. So you don't want to do that regularly.
No.
Yeah.
That's a long way.
But yeah, one day maybe in Queenstown would be a good place to live.
Yeah.
But I think then you've got to be finished with doing anything in Europe because you don't want to be coming and going all the time. That's why I'm happy to be based in Europe now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you think there's a location missing off the World Cup calendar that should be on it at the moment? Because you do loads
There's
of
a-
travelling and
There's a lot of locations missing off the World Cup calendar. It's a European Cup.
how
at the
many
moment.
do you think?
So definitely West Coast US as well.
True.
That's where like there's still quite a lot of the industry,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people that would show up when there's a race. So
That's so true.
it's going to be like an epic race.
Mm.
South America, I don't know which country, but any of them,
Mm-hmm.
they're all going to show up for the race. Like most of the social media following is in South America for some reason.
Is that right?
Like Chile, Santiago, for some reason, always in the top of my social media following.
Is it?
Yeah. And
Interesting.
they really follow it well. Like you go to a race and they know all the riders. Like
yeah.
so even they're following everyone, you know.
Mm.
And then Asia, so you need probably Japan. Then you need like somewhere else as well, and then Australia and New Zealand. So
Yeah.
so then you would have a World Cup.
Then it's a World Cup,
Yeah.
not a Euro Cup.
Yeah.
It excites me so much imagining all those rounds.
Yeah.
Like that,
For
that,
sure.
that is a hell of a series. That is.
Yeah.
But also makes it harder for everyone. That's
and
the thing.
and
That's
it would
like
be
the
an
balance, isn't it?
experience. Yeah.
That's the balance. It's like all these privateers that are struggling to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. But
Leogang are going to really struggle to get to Japan.
but like from New Zealand, Japan's halfway to Europe, so
Mm.
it's easier then.
True. Very true.
And if you call it the World Cup, then it would really be the World Cup then. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the feeder series, if you could somehow manage to cover them well, then they should take up the.
Yeah, they do all the European rounds that we take off to do those ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, those places would get the numbers for sure.
Maybe there's something in that. You know, again, looking at how they've done it with the Supercross thing at the moment with the World Supercross.
Maybe
You've
this
got
is
this elite field that
Yeah.
travels.
or the Live Golf Series.
Exactly. Yeah, or the Live Golf Series. But that's
This is the
kind of
Live
vibe,
mountain
innit?
biking.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of there's something there, eh? Like
Yeah, we
have
could
that
have
as
a
the-
race series that does those events.
the
but
traveling
just
series.
need a title sponsor.
Yeah.
I guess
TRC
there's the whole
World
like,
Cup.
yeah. I guess there's the
Saudi
whole like,
Arabian oil lord.
Yeah,
If
That
you're
seems to be
watching
working all
and
right.
you like mountain biking, get in touch.
yeah. Info at the Ride Companion. Okay, we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
We'll take your money and manage it. Lovely. We'll make sure it goes to the right place.
that Moto series is doing all right, isn't it?
I mean, it is. Yeah, it's kind of what we're talking about in a way, right? They've branched off from the regular stuff and created a World Series, and it's only small right now. But the fact that it came to Birmingham, and I didn't
Yeah.
really realise, to be honest. Like I went to watch it, And I didn't know too much about the whole thing, but then it kind of all started to make sense. Where you're like, this is like the traveling circus. These are the top guys that they could get.
Mm-hmm.
Some are still doing outdoors or whatever, and some don't have contracts and whatnot. But like, this is the people are showing up to see just those big names, and it does kind of work.
Yeah.
Like, you could do a top 30 or a top 15. That's the traveling circus. I mean, 15 for women. You know, traveling circus. That is the World Cup, and it's got really good. You know, what would you call it? Production behind it and all that sort of stuff. Maybe there's something in that. I don't know.
I think Red Bull and some urban races as well in the World Cup. I think would be
I
cool
think
because
urban downhill would be so sick
like,
in the World Cup.
how many people show up to watch those things? Yeah, maybe the course is a bit sketchy, but how many World Cup courses are not sketchy? Like, if you crash in a World Cup and you hit a tree on the side, it's going to be the same as hitting a metal bar on the side of an urban track. Pretty much.
I always think that. I think like what it is the corners on a mountain bike sort of make themselves so the compression you can like read it, whereas on a bit of tarmac you can't see it. So I think there's naturally that danger added. But otherwise, you're exactly right. Like, you can go slower and make it safer
if you want. Yeah, but you can go fast and take all the risks. But the same at a World Cup. There's some riders that are risking it every run, even in practice.
Would you do more urban races?
I like them, so I would like to do more, yeah.
I loved your bit on the Guanajuato one on the Cerebao series. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it was
insight.
A good laugh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what would be that series? If it's got let's say two urban rounds.
Yeah.
Would you say this would be a dream series for you?
I think so,
The Dream Series, that's a great name for it.
The Dream Series.
So what would be the dream series? And which locations? I like this. This is exciting.
Well, I think you kind of have to go to Valpo because it's like a traditional favourite urban race.
So that would be the urban one
of them,
round.
yeah. And then you need another urban one probably somewhere in South America as well because they're the biggest there.
Yeah.
But it would be a shame not to have like one of the places that have really good mountain bike trails in South America.
Yeah.
The double
and
header.
then Japan, you need a downhill race. So we're really planning a big series here.
Yeah.
New Zealand and Australia, I think you probably have to go to Queenstown. So one of the places. And then probably everyone would want to go to Coronet Peak.
Yeah.
Because the dirt's sick and it looks cool on video. So
Yeah.
I love the idea of the West Coast American one.
Yeah,
Never really thought about that. Like you said, there's so much industry
there would be Mammoth Mountain or Big Bear, maybe.
Yeah,
Big
Big
Bear
Bear
would
would
be
be good.
Say,
And then then you have like a bit of everything.
Okay, that's the one.
But
You've missed out. What about Fort William? I thought you were going to just get on to the next and the next round would be in Fort William.
Yeah.
Peas Lake, innit?
yeah.
Yeah.
Peas Lake World
Be a
Cup.
good one, yeah.
And Whistler, of course. Because that track they raced in the weekend looked pretty gnarly.
Insane.
Yeah.
Look really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you got to respect what they're doing, Crankwork's doing. They really
Yeah.
seem to turn it up a little bit with the whole production and downhill and getting athletes to it and stuff.
Yeah.
It's changing.
Is indeed. Do you want me
Things
to
are
do my
changing.
jingle again?
What was
We
it?
got sidetracked.
We got
Oh, yeah.
sidetracked.
Yeah,
We've ended up,
apologies.
it's the problem with podcasts, isn't it?
Mm.
Well, I'm not going to do the jingle again. Right, first question. Riley7R. Why did you thump Nigel Page?
I'm not sure I actually thumped him.
I love
Thump it up.
thump.
So good.
But yeah.
Thumps like that for me.
Yeah,
It's like,
bang.
yeah.
But no, one time in 2008.
This is a real story. This is a
Yeah.
real thing that happened.
It is, yeah.
2008.
So I was at Maribor World Cup. I'd done my first World Cup and crashed and didn't qualify. So I got straight on the beers. And I thought, it would be a good idea to get on the beers. And they used to do the 2 runs in the same day, like the qualifying and the finals.
Yeah.
So then by the finals, I was pretty ridden off. And then like I asked Pagey to take my bike back to Morsey if he could. Like, yeah, all good. Like, of course, he's busy because he's running a team as well. And then I went out all night, got like ridden off. And then forgot to remind him in the morning to take my bike. And then so I drove all the way back to Morsey with someone else because they didn't have room for the bike. And then this is like a 12-hour drive. Get back there, and then went to sleep, go to Pages in the morning, like, and I'm like, he's like, oh, yeah, I saw your bike at the hotel. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, it's still there. I'm like, no way.
12 hours away.
Yeah. So I didn't really. It was also my fault as well.
So there's no thump.
I didn't thump him, no.
Push.
No, but yeah, I don't think so.
Not slap.
I'm not that aggressive.
No, you don't seem. I
But
just wondered
What
where
do
the
you do?
thump
How
came
do you get the
from.
bike back?
I had to. Yeah, it was quite a mission. I had to hitchhike back there because.
Did you actually?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
no.
I had to look for a few different ways to get back, and there was no easy one. There was no cheap one actually, and at that point I was on a very shoestring budget.
God, that's hellish. I get annoyed when I leave my keys upstairs.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no.
Downhill bike, 12 hours away.
12
That's
hours.
tough to sort out.
That is a lot.
Yeah, so I didn't thump him, but yeah, maybe it's from that story. I don't know.
That must be it. It must be. Thanks. Yeah, maybe some good insight. I've got one here. Sometimes I anticipate WynTV more than the race. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah,
Could you expand to road races as well?
I would like it. Yeah,
I'd like that.
Yeah, I'd like that.
but
I'd watch that.
I've been to the tour and I've been to Roubaix, and I've done some videos at both. But the access is really difficult.
Yeah.
So I would have to it would take like a year or two to get to know all the riders before they would actually speak to me, because they think I'm just an idiot showing up with a
Seat
baguette
post in
trying
the
to interview them. And
Baguette.
they're like, what are you doing? But I actually, at the Roubaix, I got an interview with the boss of the Tour de France. So I was pretty hyped on that, because it's so hard to get any interviews. And then we get the main man.
What did you ask him?
He was just excited because I was from New Zealand and he likes rugby. So then he was like, and then I asked him which race he thinks is the best out of his ASO races. But he couldn't give me a clear answer.
Again, media trained, maybe just...
Yeah, he loved it that it wasn't a media trained interview.
Right.
So I think that's what he was hyped about, which in road cycling they need more of. Yeah.
What do you reckon of those cobble classics? I know you've ridden it, haven't
gnarly. The Roubaix one is way more gnarly than you ever see on TV.
you? So what is it about it that is good then? To me,
Nothing.
yeah, there is nothing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That is that, and
Like-
that is it.
Good is if you win, yeah. And if you don't crash, because you go into a farm track at 60 k's an hour and it's half of the cobbles are missing.
Yeah.
So you're going to break your wheel or flat and then you'll crash.
I don't understand it, because I've done some of the cobble classic climbs and
Yeah.
routes
Have you,
and
yeah?
stuff. Yeah, and I didn't understand it at all. I was like, this
Yeah.
is literally just
It's-
just crap.
It's pretty dangerous too.
Yeah.
If it rains, they're it's like limestone. So it's super slippery.
What a weird thing to. It's such a prestigious race, and it's
Yeah,
such
just
a-
because it has the history. It's 120 years old, Roubaix. So
that's pretty cool, isn't
yeah.
it?
That's cool that it's going on and on, you know.
You get your name on that trophy, you're doing something right.
And
aren't
you get to take a cobblestone home.
Is that so? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You pick it?
No, they give you this big one for the trophy,
nightmare.
but it'd be
Like
pretty,
getting that back
pretty
home.
heavy. Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah.
I wonder what they do when they take them out, because with enough races, they're not going to have a track. You have to
There's
start
quite a few
tarmacking
missing.
it.
Yeah. But it's just historic, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do one if you want.
Yeah, go on.
I'll grab one out. Joe Venden 2. What's your optimal biscuit dunking time for a custard cream?
Sure, I've never really done many custard creams, to be honest.
Why is that?
But the UK is all about a biscuit, eh?
A bit, yeah, right?
Yeah.
I'm never sure with questions like that, because I would have read that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't know if it has context.
Yeah, if
you
it's
don't know
like
if
an-
you've missed
No,
something.
I've
No
An in
context.
joke or something.
But
Right.
yeah. What am I on the hobnobs?
Likes the
Danny
hobnobs.
Hart put me on the hobnobs.
Hobnobs,
so,
Yeah. Well done,
yeah,
Danny.
I was a digestive guy, but Danny put me on the chocolate hobnobs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Digestives are tough, I think.
I like the digestives as well, but
Bland.
yeah,
Terrible
I
name.
like
I
the
think it's a nice
chocolate one. Yeah.
nice biscuit, but terrible name.
Yeah.
Digestives.
Is
just
it
makes
going
you
to
think
help
about-
your stomach or?
I don't know. Just all,
Maybe.
you call it digestive. All I'm thinking about is poo.
Yeah.
You know, you're not thinking about
Yeah.
innit.
Yeah.
But the chocolate hobnob's pretty good.
There you go.
Yeah.
They're a good one. We also got Shake and Bake 1. Who would win in a bare knuckle boxing match out of Wyn and Ed?
It's a pretty I've definitely got the weight and maybe the reach because I'm slightly taller, but he's a bit of a scrapper. I've seen him in the boxing ring with Josh Bryceland in Thailand, and it got quite heated. So
I can't imagine that fight. It's such a weird fight. That.
yeah. I don't
I
know.
wanted to do the impression, but I'm not going to do the impression.
You guys can pick a winner, but I would probably have the strength, maybe, because I think I'm like, I don't know, 15 kilos heavier than him.
Ah,
Yeah. He's got no chance, has he?
yeah, he's got not a prayer, mate.
He's not got a
But
chance.
but he's a scrapper, so maybe he'll go the distance.
Maybe. He
Yeah.
might have a few like naughty moves as
And-
well, like a nut kick or something.
Yeah, I think he maybe had a boxing ring in he organised some boxing matches at university,
Of course he
and
did.
they had like a half pipe in his backyard, and they set up a boxing ring,
Yeah.
and they would sell out,
Really?
and
Yeah.
then have like proper boxing matches.
Kindo slice
it's-
vibes.
Yeah,
Was it Kindo slice?
Kimbo slice.
Kimbo,
Yeah.
Kimbo, that's
it was that sort of style. Yeah,
We used to have boxing gloves. It got
Really?
so
It's
when
bad,
we were
yeah.
younger, it's really bad because it never, even if you're
never
like,
goes well.
yeah, even if you sort of like actually want to be good at it and you want to be serious about it, it always ends up a scrap, doesn't
Just
it?
swinging.
And
Well,
like I-
someone gets one that hurts, and then you want to inflict some pain.
my younger brother Henry, obviously he's like third in line, me then Oscar then Henry.
Mm.
So Henry's naturally been picked on the most
Mm.
out of everyone. He's been picked on from me and Oscar.
Mm.
So it comes to like birthday parties. Let's say Oscar has his friends over. The boxing gloves come out.
Yeah.
Henry's there. He's just charged up, dude. He's like a young Tyson. He can be like half the size.
Yeah.
He's knocking people out. He's literally like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
blood. And even it starts off as like a joke, like, oh,
Yeah.
let's get the little brother in.
And then you're like,
And then-
wow.
Yeah, and he's just lamping people.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
really embarrassing, actually.
Yeah.
My poor mum, like,
Sending kids home with black eyes
Yeah.
and bloody noses.
we used to do it all the time, boxing.
you?
Yeah, I've had some. It's a horrible feeling getting a bell rung boxing as well,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it? It's like
It's not worth it, eh?
no, exactly, yeah,
It's like you're giving away the concussions for free.
yeah. But I didn't used to think like that.
No.
I thought they were limitless. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
I had limitless supply. I did.
Yeah.
I used to wear Protect helmet and slam my head into the ground and just be
Oh.
like, let's
Yeah.
go again. Yeah, I'm not giving away any concussions anymore.
Not for free, no.
No. Who do you reckon would win out of the World Cup circuit?
What, in a scrap?
Yeah, like is anyone, or let's just say boxing for now.
Boxing, it's hard to say because if someone's actually done some boxing,
Yeah,
they
it's a
will
stupid
win,
question,
yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
So, but if it was like a scrap,
Let's just
then-
say scrap.
yeah.
But again, if someone's had the smallest amount of
Yeah, like
training
they've
in
done some
anything,
jiu-jitsu, whatever,
Yeah.
they're going to be like, got you in this arm lock or whatever, you like, choke you out. Then I think Amory would be like the aggression that him and Tebow take to their race runs. If they could take that to
Yeah.
the scrap, you wouldn't want to fight them. Because
No.
look at their eyes, they're like there to kill, you know?
yeah,
So I think,
True.
you've only got to look crazy. You
Yeah.
really sort of calm
Was it
things
Thibault at
down.
the end of the last World? Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
yeah,
Yeah.
those guys, both
That's
of them,
terrifying.
like the aggression they bring to the race, if they could bring that to the scrap, then you'd avoid them. So I would give it to those guys.
Heavily. There you go. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good answer. That is.
That's a
Yeah,
good answer.
well, good answer. Right,
Another.
great question actually. That's
Great.
from Ben Baker. You
Yeah,
know,
thank-
but
yeah.
from Shake and Bake one. Just wanted to make clear. Yeah. What's the furthest you've ever wheelied?
I've never like actually gone for a record where I'd like see how far I can go because I looked at like the Guinness record. It's like 130 kilometers or something, maybe even more. and I'm like, what's the point in even wanting to do that?
It's so boring as
yeah,
well
yeah,
doing
yeah.
a wheelie for that long. Like you've just ruined the magic.
Cool,
It's
your
like-
lower back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
forearm burn.
But
Not fun.
I did wheelie down the Poggio descent of the Milan San Remo course, so that was like I think it was like 4 or 5 kilometers, but with heaps of switchbacks. So it was
Rad.
like kind of tricky.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, well, I started at the top and then my teammate was filming. Then I'm like, oh, I may as well try and keep going. And then I just got to the bottom.
Actually
Yeah,
did it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's rad.
So I was like, I had to try and do that. But then I've never tried to do like a actual record.
Out and out record. That I can't believe that's what it was.
What do you think the fastest manual is?
I think it's 120. It's Bobby Root, I think.
Is it?
Yeah. But I want to do that on like, and get pulled at like, do like an epic one at the Bonneville Salt Flats with like a truck that has like a thing behind it, so you don't get any wind,
And just pull a manual.
and then you just pull it up, you know.
Loop out.
Cause
Huge
and,
loop out.
and I just want to
Brakes
drive a
cooked.
rental car on the Bonneville Salt Flats. you know?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one to go for.
Mm.
There's something in that.
That
That'd
one
be
maybe
great,
is
yeah.
Make some
possible.
content around
because 120 I think is possible. I've been pulled at 100 and done one down a hill, and that was like, it's real hard to pull up because of the wind.
Yeah.
But if you had like a draft of a track, you'd be able to do it.
Those draft machine things are so gnarly, aren't they? That they used to do the flat land speed record cycling things on, because you're just so close.
Yeah.
Just pull a manual. You versus Jake 100. Great YouTube video.
I sort of feel like, is it though? I know you are moving at that speed, but like without the
Well, you're not getting the wind, so yeah. It's not really
I wonder
the
if there's
same.
an unassisted
You wouldn't
one.
be able to do it probably at this speed.
yeah.
Like, did you watch the video of the guy getting pulled to whatever 200 on the mountain bike? Like, it wasn't really special, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's got to be
But then to
unassisted.
pull a manual would be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. No, unassisted. No cars, nothing, just
No
down a
cars.
hill.
Yeah.
Fastest.
That'd be good, wouldn't it? Right, the next one is from Ad Break. Oh man, I'm excited about this. This is like an internet unboxing we're about to do, and it's something that we've been working on for a long time.
Yeah.
So this is us unboxing the website for the Ride Companion Mexican Vacation 2023.
Holy.
Let's check it out. This is the first time you've seen the itinerary as
First time
well,
I've
hasn't
seen
it?
the itinerary.
Okay.
You're going to basically explain what it is to me.
Exactly. So this is actually online now.
Okay.
From this moment right now, for our listeners to go and have a look at and get hyped on.
It looks, so far, I'm in.
He's in. It looks good fun,
looks
doesn't it? Right. So we're going to Oaxaca in Mexico.
Okay.
Okay. The Ride Companion will be hosting 8-day mountain bike adventure in Oaxaca, Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
The trip is fully catered 8-day culture exploration like no other through the mountain bike paradise that is Oaxaca. Travelers will ride Mexican loam, eat the most authentic food, visit a petrified waterfall, and see the Oaxaca unseen.
Okay.
All while laughing about it with the lads from the Ride Companion podcast.
That's me and you.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can
we're
do
the
that.
lads.
We
That's the
can
first
do
time I've been one of the lads. Dude, I couldn't be more hyped about
Me either.
coming here. I've heard so much about Oaxaca, about it being like the center of Mexican mountain biking. Obviously,
Yep.
I've spent a lot of time over there.
Yeah, you're a big Mexico fan?
I'm a big Mexico fan, and to hear that this is like the Whistler of Mexico, or the, I
Yeah.
can't wait to go and check it out. I
Mate,
can't
Hyde,
wait to
what an
check it out. You
opportunity. What an opportunity.
big Mexican fan yourself, aren't you?
Mexican food fan? Yeah, for sure.
There we go.
Arguably one of my favourite foods of
Yep.
all time. And I think as well, dude, like we've done so many of these rides, it's just fun hanging out with people and
Yeah,
just meeting people that are in the
absolutely,
companionship.
yeah.
So having the opportunity to put this like dream trip together,
Yeah.
and then people can come and we can spend more time with them. We can do podcasts. We're going to get sponsors involved. There's going to be so much stuff. It's a dream come true. It really is.
Yeah, truly. I'm super excited as well to check out this new spot
Yeah.
with
'Cause you've never
everyone.
been to Oaxaca.
I've never been. No, I've never been. I've only heard about it. And like, I've done a lot of riding over there, and everyone says, oh, if you like this, you got to go to Oaxaca. And so,
Amazing.
yeah, hyped. So day 1 is our arrival day.
Yeah.
Day 2, we're going to Benito Juarez to Mil Rios. I don't know what that's obviously the route we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, arguably one of the best routes I've heard.
That's more like it. That's
Yeah,
the tone we're going with.
Yeah, it is. We're going to
Day
keep
3,
it
we're
going.
riding at La Combra Extepeche. I think it's
Oh,
pointless.
dream trip.
How do you even say that place? We're gonna have to learn. We're gonna learn together.
Yeah, we are.
We've got a full ride day. Day 4, we're riding from to Oaxaca City, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what? There's no point in me going through that because I can't even pronounce many of the words. But what I do know is that we're finishing every day's mountain bike ride with the best meal of your life. And I believe that.
I believe it as well.
I believe that.
I believe it.
We're going to be biking down 1,000-year-old agricultural footpaths of the Zapotec peoples.
Wow.
Which is exciting.
Culture.
Yeah, I mean, Mexico's pretty good for that. There's so much like Aztec history and like architecture and stuff, even in Mexico City. So
that's one aspect of this that I'm looking forward to. Like the biking obviously is a huge part of it, but to me it's going to be like 50%. The other 25 is going to be made up of culture, meeting cool people, and eating amazing food.
Absolutely.
And also one thing to mention, dude, is when we're going to be doing this December, it's going to be dreary here in the UK. You're going to need a break. You're going to want to get away.
I've always been like half of it is me. I feel guilty half the time because I get to go to these places at really convenient times for myself. Like the street races are often in the winter in the UK.
Yeah.
So the chance to like, it feels like a cheat code. You
Yeah.
go away, it's dreary, and you're just going to like,
You're drinking nice beers, hanging out with the crew.
Yeah, so it's a rad opportunity to take people on the cheat code.
This is going to be the dream.
It is. Obviously, you're going to get to hang out with us. I don't know if that's a real selling point. Maybe we should delete that one. Maybe edit that one out. Visit a 6th-generation-old mezcal distillery and taste up to 20 different types of mezcales.
Nice.
Have you drunk much before?
Drink much mezcales? Nah, I can't say I have.
Okay.
No. I'm in. Like I said, mate, I'm in it. I'm in it for the food, the culture, all of it. I'm in. I'm in.
Basically, we're going to be seeing an unseen side of Oaxaca. We're trying to focus a bit more on not only just the riding, but the stuff that comes with it. Yeah, on a lot of the trips I do, it's the stuff that comes with it that my takeaway. So, yeah, hopefully we're offering the ultimate experience. All you got to do is click on the link. We've only got 12 spots.
Yeah, it's limited. It is limited.
Get on the site, have a look, see what you think, and get booked.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the show description for you, all the information. If you need a little bit more, feel free to drop us a DM. We can answer those and answer any questions or speak to the guys at Two Wheel Epics.
Yeah. Hey, let's go on holiday. Are you up for a vacation? Let's go on a vacation.
Let's get out of here. That's the worst high five. Let's go again. Yeah! Great ad break.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Cheers, Adam.
Yeah, cheers, Adam. I'm trying to ascertain whether any of these are actually... You got loads and loads of questions here.
This is a good one. At Dan Blackmore, should downhill teams have a cost cap like Formula One for both the bike itself and budget for staff?
Yeah, it's hard to say what the value of the bikes are though, because some of them will be pretty expensive. But then, how do you value a bike that you can't buy?
Yeah.
So, but it probably would be good if you want to make the sport still be accessible. And I think one thing they shouldn't have is like some of the teams have like groups of guys doing laser timing on the side of the track in practice. Like that should not be allowed.
You don't think?
Nah, like
if
you bring your own timing system, you shouldn't be allowed. Like you should be allowed to put your watch on your handlebars, whatever, but you shouldn't have people timing lines on the side of the track.
I do actually agree.
With a phone, it's not very accurate anyway, because it's like your thumb is the...
Yeah.
So but yeah, if you've got like a whole team with laser timing and then they measure the exact time of the one section all day, they get an advantage from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you just have to flat ban it. Is there anything else that people are doing that you feel like shouldn't be happening?
Not really. No.
Yeah, I couldn't really think
well,
of
interesting the laser
it'd be
thing,
like,
isn't it?
Yeah, if anyone's doing anything untoward, I guess we wouldn't know or
wouldn't
talk about it.
They're covering it up well if they are.
Yeah.
Interesting with the timing though.
Yeah, because I guess what you get is like results like... But then it doesn't matter because it depends on what sort of rider you are on certain lines, doesn't it? Like some people are quicker.
Yeah, like you can say that line's faster, but it might not be for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a hard one as well, but yeah.
But lasers do make it a bit weird, don't they?
Yeah, like if you're bringing your own laser timing system, then it's like kind of... And you've got to have a few people to operate it.
Yeah. Interesting. What do you, as someone who's participating in these races, what would you prefer? A World Cup weekend or an EWS weekend?
If you want to do
EDR.
a lot of riding, then the EWS weekend, but it's less now as well. So it used to be more. That's why I do less of it now.
Really? Yeah.
It used to be a lot more riding. And now it's like a 1 day race. It used to be 2 day races quite often, 2 practice days, 2 race days. So you're riding for 4 days. That's quite a lot of riding.
Yeah.
And at a downhill race, you do 12 runs the whole week. It's like pretty small amount of riding.
It is when you calculate that time as well.
Yeah.
The 3-minute track.
Yeah.
12 runs for
Yeah.
a hot.
Less than an
Really?
hour
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
riding.
And that's not through lack of. That's literally.
No,
that's
that's
not
all
through
you
like
need,
resting.
yeah.
That's all you need. So
You wouldn't do more though. I
You
wouldn't
wouldn't,
do
no.
more. No. Like you'd only do more than that if you needed to do more practice. Like maybe you need to do 1 more run, 2 more runs, but it's not many rounds.
No, it's not. It's not much bike time.
there's
No.
nothing in it. That's crazy. I hadn't thought of that. I thought you'd get more than that in, but I guess
Yeah, because the first day you do practice, you do 5 or 6, and then the next day is qualifying. You do 2 runs in qualifying, and then you do. Now you would do 1 or 2 runs, then you do the semi and then the final.
so. You just reach a point of diminishing returns. Like there's no point in going back up because you're not
Just
really
get
going to get
tired,
anything
yeah.
quicker, and you're just going to get tired.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a strategy in place for the semis and stuff? Or were you...
No, not really.
No.
Just roll with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, interesting.
Just hit the last feature as hard as you can.
Apparently. A little bit too hard.
Yeah.
At Tim Sadler, what is the best nickname you have ever given someone?
It's hard. Probably the bulldog.
You did
It's
that.
pretty good. Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, that's good. I
That's
think Den and Destroyer is good. That was your
Yeah,
one.
that's good. Yeah.
some top work. You need more praise for those. I didn't realise either of those were your work.
Oh,
Fantastic.
there's a few more, but I've got to think of them. But yeah, I've
can't
always
tell you
been
yours.
good for
That's between me and Wyn.
good for a nickname. Yeah.
Yeah. What else we got?
Never wheelie again or never stoppy again.
That's a good one.
From Bruce Willis. Can't believe he's listened to the podcast.
Bruce, good. Thanks for
He
the
does, he's a
question.
big fan. Big fan.
I prefer wheelies. Probably you can do more things, but stoppies are fun. Yeah.
If your name was Simon,
Mm-hmm.
do you think you would have gone for stoppies?
Stoppy Simon. Yeah. It's
And
different.
maybe Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh dear. So what are you doing now? What's going on? We got any more World Cup? Are you going to race before the
Yeah,
end of the
hopefully
year?
race
Yeah.
the last few races of the season. So look forward to that.
Are you heading to World Champs? Because you say you're going
Yeah, I'm
back.
going to go there.
Going there.
I'm going to, well, hopefully I go back to Europe tomorrow and then I'll fly back on Monday and then hopefully I can ride from the airport to Fort William.
Is that what you're doing? Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I'll give you a lift if you want.
Depends on the weather, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, you never
But,
know. Yeah, man, it could go
I don't
either
want
way.
to be just stuck out in the rain all day, you know? But I kind of want to just do a mission, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Because I've always driven there and it's kind of boring. Yeah.
It's a long one.
How
Yeah.
long till you're back on a bike? Mountain bike?
Hopefully start riding this week.
Hyped for you. Exciting.
Hopefully, yeah.
And sorry, quick fire around this. With World Champs coming up, top pick. Who do you think is going to be World Champ? Both sexes, male, female.
It's a hard
And the
one.
other one, if there is one.
Well, I think I'd like to see it anyway, but Laurie was real fast at that national there. So
Yeah.
so it would be pretty cool if a Brit won
Fuck yeah.
at Fort William. Like, that would be pretty epic. So I'd just like to see that happen.
Yeah. Do you know if Rachel's doing it?
I actually
I don't
haven't
know why I looked at
seen.
you. I
I
just
think
wondered.
think she would, yeah.
Yeah, I
Because
think,
she would qualify now. So
I haven't
yeah,
seen
yeah.
the big list yet.
No.
yeah, I think she would. And Jordan Williams will be good.
True.
Of course, Loic's going to be good, even if he doesn't like Fort William. He turns it on when the World Champs are on. It's a shame we're missing Amory. That's a bit of a shame.
Yeah. He's going to still
But-
be out.
Yeah, well, I think he'll be out for a while because he got a plate and 2 vertebrae in his neck. So, I don't know. There's too many people that are good there.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't Laurie, then I'd like to see Greg win there. And if
Yeah.
he won there and then just mic drop, that would be sick.
That would be sick, wouldn't it?
Like, I feel like he needs to. If he did win there, that would be a sick way to go out.
Yeah.
Like, to finish the year on that, you know, maybe not the World Cup season, but like say that I'm finishing up this year when you won, you know.
Yeah. Go out on the top.
Yeah.
Interesting to think, huh?
Yeah.
If not, I guess he'll just do another 10 more.
Yeah, 10 more years when he's got this brain trainer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're linked up.
Yeah, he's got electrics in the helmet, but he's
still
going.
He's still going.
He's just so old until he puts the helmet on.
Yeah.
Totally. Is there anything else you want to promote or whatever at the moment? Apart from
Well, mostly that's it. Pretty much the privateer
such
project
an awkward
videos.
question, dude. I'm so sorry. Is there anything you wanna
Privateer
promote?
projects launch the videos today, so we'll have Roger Vera's episode out about Roger, and that should be good.
I look forward to seeing that, man.
Yeah.
I really am, because it's good to know more about these people. Obviously,
Yeah,
you see the
it's hard to
Privateer
know
Award,
the people very
Yeah.
well.
but how would
and
you?
yeah,
Like,
you
unless you
can't,
follow
yeah,
them or
yeah.
whatever, and they're super open. So yeah, stoked to see that, man. Good on you.
Yeah, thank you.
Really cool.
Thanks for coming in, Wyn.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for riding
It was
over.
good to ride here. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the ride companion, so I had to ride here.
First guest that's ridden over.
I think so. You get to catch up on some podcasts while you're riding, and
Yeah.
see you pulp on the way here.
Yeah.
Shout out to Steve.
Yeah.
Sick, dude. No, thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you.
You're the man.
Cheers, guys.
Peace and love.
Like and subscribe.
Dude, I know I say this every time, but that was honestly one of the best episodes.
So good.
Wasn't it?
Mate, no doubt people have watched this, they've enjoyed it, and they want to hang out with us more. So here's a few
More.
options, right? You
Yeah.
can watch another clip.
That's above, isn't it?
Yeah. You can watch another clip,
That's over there.
subscribe,
Behind me.
or
Yeah.
go to the comment section and maybe come on holiday with us.
Dude, of course, they can come on holiday. We're going away to Mexico for 8 days riding to Oaxaca this Christmas. Click the link in the description.
Yeah, we want to go with you.
You. See you there. That was good.